Masala Mama here. Today I'm going to show you how to bhoon masala. We're going to go from this to this, and I'm going to detail everything from step 1 to the final step on how to achieve a really good masala. So let's get going. Pretty much all of my masalas start off this way. You pour oil into a pan, and on low-medium heat, you're going to add your onions. This is how all of my masalas pretty much start off. You fry the onions for about 4 to 5 minutes on low-medium heat, and you'll start seeing the tips of the onions start turning golden. When that happens, you can go ahead and add your garlic and ginger. And you're going to fry your garlic and ginger along with your onions. And you're going to constantly move them because the heat is uneven in the pan, and you want to make sure that all the onions, all the ginger and the garlic get even heating. And all of this is done on medium heat. Keep moving them around with your spoon so that nothing sits in one place and gets burned. You'll start seeing some of the onions a little darker than the others. You'll start seeing your garlic also changing color. Now, different recipes require your onions to be lighter or darker, but for purposes of this masala, we just want them to be light golden. All of the onions are going to be different shades of dark or light golden. At this point, you're going to go ahead and add your spices, which are salt, red chili powder, Kashmiri chili, I like that for the color, and turmeric. Fry the spices for about 10 seconds, and then you're going to go ahead and add some water. And you add the water so the spices don't burn. Cover the pan because everything's going to be flying around. Once that calms down, you can remove the lid and start frying your onions and spices. This whole process is an art, let me tell you. Fry this for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we're going to add our tomatoes. Now, some people add yogurt, but my masala has tomatoes. The ripe the tomatoes, the better your end result of the masala. And what we want to do is we want to soften everything. If you want, at this point, you can add red or green fresh chilies. They will give your final dish another dimension, like a really nice fragrance in there, a spicy fragrance. And now we're going to cook these tomatoes and onions until they're soft. I don't know about you, but I live in Canada, and the onions never soften to the mush that I like. Sometimes I put them in the pressure cooker. This whole process of softening them will take about 20 to 25 minutes. Once all of these are soft, you're going to turn off the heat, and you're going to let this whole mixture cool. I remember growing up, my mother used to bhoon the masala from this point onwards on the stove in the pan. But I'm telling you guys, these tomatoes, these onions, they just never come down to the mushed masala part in like 30 minutes. It takes like an hour. So we're going to take a shortcut. Once your garlic is nice and mushy, the tomatoes are nice and mushy, and also the onions, but not to the point that I want them, I'm going to grind them. Literally, I don't know what's in these onions because they take forever to soften into a paste. And the onions I used here today are the yellow onions, just in case anyone's wondering. So I'm going to take out the masala, and I'm going to place it in my little mini chopper, and I'm going to grind it. You don't have to do that, but I'm going to say please do that. Otherwise, you'll be on the stove for about 45 minutes trying to get them into a paste. Nobody has that kind of time. I mean, we have fried everything, so everything's not raw. Once you get it into a nice thin consistency like this, what we're going to do is we're going to put it back on the stove, and we're going to start the process of cooking. This is our oil from where I took the masala out, and I'm going to heat it and place the creamed mixture into that. Be a little bit careful because now this is all very thick and creamy, and if you've ever made creamy sauces, you know they splutter. Keep the heat low or keep it off while you're pouring it in, and then turn it on. All this creaminess is going to be cooked down, so all of the water in it has to be cooked off in order for the masala to be considered bhoon. So mix all of this into the oil, and now we're going to start bhooning and cooking off this masala. And what you're doing is you're going to keep it covered for a little bit until the creamed consistency starts to lose its water. Otherwise, you're going to have splatters of masala all over your stove. And even worse, in your eye. Be careful. Keep the heat on low medium, and you're going to cover, uncover, and you're going to constantly check to see at what point your masala is. So at this point, you are cooking off the water, and the bhooning will begin when the water has completely evaporated from the onions and the tomatoes. As long as it keeps looking a light color and looks creamy, it's still not in the bhoon phase. See all the light color and the dark color? The dark color is the oil, the light color is still the masala, it's still not there yet. You will see the masala, the whole top of the masala change color as time goes by. Every now and then you're going to remove the lid and you're going to use your spoon to move everything around. Make sure nothing is burning. Now you can start seeing less of the water, more of the oil. And all of this is on low medium heat. You can adjust the heat. You can increase it a little bit if you think it's taking too long. This process of putting it back into the pot and cooking it and bhooning it will take about a good 20 minutes. You'll also be able to tell because you'll hear the frying sound of the masala as there's less and less water in the mixture. And you can see what a beautiful smooth paste this has turned out. If you did this on stovetop without grinding it, you would still be doing this for about another 25-30 minutes. You can move your spoon in the bottom of the pan, and when you start seeing more of the oil coming in into where you make the groove, that means your masala is bhooned. Look how gorgeous that is. At this point, you can turn up the heat and you can just move your spoon around, and that's the bhooning process. So you fry and bhoon and bhoon. And I'm not kidding you guys. You can literally stop this process at this point and go ahead and eat this masala. This masala is so versatile. Once you have this, you can pretty much make any Punjabi Lahori dish. Look how rich this masala looks. Sometimes when I have a party coming up, I will make this masala, keep it in the freezer, take it out on the day off, and add my meat. So this is my masala video. I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, post in the comments. And don't forget to follow me on my YouTube channel. Watch Masala Mama.